Sorry to interrupt your scheduled television show, but there's some new breaking news. There was a scientific discovery today of a virus that affects the nervous system. The virus affects both the central and peripheral nervous systems. The central and peripheral nervous systems work together to perform different tasks. The central nervous system is made up of the brain and spinal cord. The central nervous system is the main control center that all sensory information is processed. This new virus affects the central nervous system by slowing it down. Since this area of the body is where information is processed and stored, the virus affects memory, intelligence, and emotions, which are the main functions of the nervous system. Not only does the virus affect the central nervous system, it also affects the peripheral nervous system as well. The peripheral nervous system is made up of the nerves that are running all throughout your body. The peripheral nervous system is responsible for sensory functions such as feeling, roughness, and smoothness. When affected with the virus, victims will not feel the right textures and pressures. The peripheral nervous system is also responsible for motor functions such as moving and feeling different things. If you notice any of these symptoms, please contact the health professionals immediately. Thank you. Now on to Jamie with the effects of the virus on the autonomic and somatic nervous systems.
Thank you. This virus also affects all parts of the brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system. If anyone is not sure what this means, the autonomic nervous system is a part of the peripheral nervous system that acts as an involuntary control system below the level of consciousness. If you are infected with this virus, it will affect the connections between the brain and spinal cord and organs and glands. The virus will also disrupt the normal regulation of heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, salivation, perspiration, energy utilization, and body temperature. The autonomic nervous system can be split into three divisions: sympathetic, parasympathetic, and entire nervous systems. Another part of the brain this virus could affect is the somatic nervous system. The somatic nervous system is a part of the peripheral nervous system that handles voluntary control of body movements. It contains all the neurons connected with skeletal muscles and skin. The somatic nervous system also connects external sensory organs through the brain and muscles. If you notice an increase or decrease in heart rate, unusual salivation activity, excessive perspiration, or significant changes in body temperature, this could indicate that you have been exposed to this virus and should consult a health professional immediately. Now on to Michael with the simple reflex and parts of the neuron.
Thank you. Now the nervous system is made up of many different nerve cells or neuron. A neuron has many different functional parts that help carry out the transmission throughout the neuron. Altogether it has 9 different functional parts. 9 parts are the dendrites, the cell body, the axon, the Schwann cell, the node of Ranvier, the neurolemma, the myelin, the axon terminals, and the end bulbs. The different functions of these parts are the dendrites carry the impulse to the cell body. The cell body just contains the nucleus, cytoplasm, and organelles. The axon carries impulses away from the cell body. The Schwann cell wraps around the axon and forms myelin. The nodes of Ranvier are the gaps between the Schwann cells, and they increase the speed of impulse transmission. The neurolemma is the cell membrane, and the myelin is the insulation. The axon terminals are branches transmitting impulse to the end bulbs, and the end bulbs pass on the impulse to the next neuron. Now this virus going around is very dangerous as it destroys some of these different functional parts' abilities, such as the dendrites can no longer carry the impulse to the cell body, the axon can no longer carry the impulse away from the cell body, and the end bulbs can no longer pass on the impulse to the next neuron. Now with these being really affected the way they are, it is also affecting the simple reflex ability of your body. Since the simple reflexes have to do with the nervous system, it only makes sense that this virus is affecting the nervous system. The simple reflex steps have 4 steps altogether. The steps are: the sensory receptors detect the stimulus and carry the impulse to the central nervous system. The central nervous system processes the sensory information. The axon of motor neuron carries the impulse from the central nervous system to the effector, and the effector produces the desired action. Now, since this virus attacks the dendrites can no longer detect the stimulus at the beginning of this motion, making it almost impossible for a simple reflex to occur. The simple reflex can no longer occur. It is very dangerous for a human, as they can no longer do simple motions such as walking or even shaking hands. This virus is destroying the ability to carry out simple life processes and is very dangerous to your health. If you have suffered from any of these terrible symptoms that we have listed in this video, it would be wise to consult a medical doctor. If you have any other questions, feel free to call up your medical profession. Was your breaking news.